fish.
An old fish. Condoms, we used an old fish. It's an old thing I said back in like ELR 2004 or 5.
No.
Yeah, it was a dumb thing.
Never forget.
Never forget. But look, if you can't find a condom,
We used an old fish.
use an old fish. Actually, here, I'll play it for you. This is literally me all those years ago.
It was gonna be crude, but it's gonna smell the same anyway.
Yeah. Oh. Maybe I don't have it here. Oh, I don't have it here. Poopy pants.
Oh.
Aw.
That's okay.
We used
Do you
an
still
old
have
fish.
the that's a small fish?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
I have so many fish clips that it's
That
disgusting.
and I love fish. Those
I love fish.
Yeah.
there.
This is a nice fish.
I have a lot of fish.
You fish-faced enemy of the people.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We don't
Brutal.
fish for the fish.
Yeah, but I can't find my condom as a fish thing. It's somewhere. Anyway, don't use a condom as a fish. Bo, we're back at it, and you're in charge. Take it away.
All right. So, Diantalis, you spend time studying this strange robe that has these patches on it, and you discovered that this is an item imbued with magical energy. Specifically, the energy to manifest the item depicted on the patch into physical form by ripping it from the robe. If you had to give it a name, you would call it a robe of useful items. And I will describe to you what patches it has on it as soon as you decide who's going to be responsible for it. 'Cause that person will probably have to write some stuff down.
Well, Varel does not wear clothes.
No, he would look badass with a cape.
Kind of would.
But no, it would be
I think
cumbersome.
I think it's probably a Nash item, right?
Sure.
Nash wears a robe. I don't know. Diantalis looks at Nash, and then he looks down at the robe, and then he looks at Nash, and then he looks down at the robe, and then he looks back at Nash.
I can't see Varel in a robe, but I'll do
And he
it.
kind of just shakes his head. Yeah, I guess it goes to Nash.
All right.
All right. Diantalis offers you a new robe. It is covered in mud and soaking wet. And it has all kinds of patches on it. And Diantalis briefly mentions to you that you can pull off a patch and bring the item into reality that's depicted on one of the patches.
Does it have a name? That I should...
Robe of useful items. You can add a robe of useful items.
Look at that.
I feel like I've just given a child a loaded weapon.
I go, don't mind me. I rip off my ratty old piece of shit robe and I pull this over.
All right, you pull it over. So if you added it to your inventory,
I have.
you're going to have to make a note because they vary from game to game. This item has 2 patches of the following. Maybe
on.
get a pencil and write it down.
Yeah, that's a good
You can
idea.
add it later. Yeah, so it has 2 patches depicting a dagger,
Okay.
2 patches depicting a lantern filled and lit,
Hold on, patches.
2 patches depicting a steel mirror.
Hold on, how many patches for the... What? Sorry, go back to the second. I just barely wrote the dagger one.
Sorry, 2 of the dagger, 2 of the bullseye lantern,
2
Filled and lit.
bullseye lantern. Okay.
yeah, 2 steel mirrors,
2 steel mirrors.
yeah, 2 10-foot poles,
Okay.
2 50-foot coiled hempen rope,
2 50-foot hemp
rope,
rope. Okay.
2 sacks.
2 sacks.
Now, 1 of the following each. There's 1 window,
1 window.
1 rowboat,
Okay.
1 portable ram.
Portable ram.
Yeah.
The animal or like a ramming device?
I don't know. Actually, you gotta
Is
roll
that
on a
like one of the handheld things that the
Yeah.
police use to
Yeah, the
get through the
SWAT.
door?
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
wall.
I think
okay.
so. I think it's to break in a door.
I
was
feel
hoping
like
an
this
animal.
should have gone to Hope. I feel like if I had looked at the items on here, it would have gone to Hope.
It's all right.
Not too
I'll
late.
take good care of it. Or
It's
one
Nash's now.
one wooden ladder, 24 feet.
wood ladder, 24 foot. Okay.
One iron door,
Okay.
and one riding horse
Wow.
Right.
Yes!
with saddlebags.
With saddlebags.
Name him Oats.
So you can rip off these patches only once, and you can bring them into existence by ripping the patch off and throwing it into the air. Once
I
you've
still
ripped off
think
all the
this belongs to
patches,
Hope.
once you've ripped off all the patches, the magical item is just a robe.
Scott's gonna forget he had it in 2 hours.
No!
And we'll never use any of these items. I
No.
think it needs to
Got
go
it.
to Hope.
I'm gonna remember
got it.
these, but I'm gonna say to Hope, don't just if any of these look useful, make sure to remind me to use them.
I'd like to point out that it looks extremely gaudy. It's wet and ruined, and there's these patches all over it. Like it looks like a child's clothing. It has these patches of ladders and windows and bags.
So an improvement
I
to
hope
what
when
I'm
they come
wearing.
into existence, they don't look like the patch themselves. They're like
Yes,
these
the
horribly
garment itself-
malformed ladders.
The garment itself is just about the most gaudiest thing you've ever seen.
Oh, horse whispers kill me.
There are 4 fire trucks, 2 Ninja Turtles.
Their chat room, they
One
can
of those
see
cool
it.
like race carpets.
Did you,
Oh,
write
yeah.
down did you write down that there was an iron door?
Yeah, I got Iron Door on there, and I just put an image of it. That's D&D's Beyond's image of it. I put it.
There
up so
we
people could
go.
see it, yeah.
Nash Maggard and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
That's right. That's pretty good stuff. Okay.
Musical starts next week.
Yeah. Okay. I will.
That
I will
includes,
wear it. It's an improvement because normally I look like shit. So this is good.
Yeah, you
Hey, you
look
look
so
like
much
Gotti.
better now, Nash.
It's an improvement for sure. All right, Bo. I'm going to rip through these just to make sure. 2 dagger patches, 2 bullseye lantern patches, 2 steel mirror patches, 2 10-foot poles, 2 50-foot hemp ropes, 2 sacks, 2 windows. 1 window.
One window.
1 rowboat, 1 portable ram. We assume the thing, not the animal. 1 world. Oh, sorry. 1 wooden ladder. Sorry.
One planet. Just thrown right
planet.
on
One
there.
nation, under God.
Liberty and justice, baby.
24 feet for that. 1 iron door. 1 riding horse with saddlebags.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
And with this ring, I do wed.
And a partridge. There's so many things we could do with it, but we won't. Okay. Good deal. I'm loving it.
There's
So-
no Big Mac patches.
That'd be cool.
Throw it
That's-
in the water.
That I would take.
That's why I was hoping the ram maybe was the animal. If we ever get real hungry and in a pinch, we can.
It's a robe of useful
That's a good
items, not creatures.
For useful creatures?
I'm assuming it's a door ram.
All right.
Except for the horse.
Oh yeah, that's a creature, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But it's got the saddlebags, right? So I guess you could.
Yeah.
Good point.
But I agree.
Good point. That yeah. Hmm.
I like that horse.
If Varel's really in a pinch to eat, we could eat the horse. It's fine.
You could.
And he could wear the saddlebags.
That's how we give him inventory to manage
Yeah.
now. He can carry stuff.
All right. The room is quiet as you guys share a chuckle over the Nash's look.
Is
Shall
there
we head
anything
back?
else you wanted identified while we're taking the moment?
Oh, the earrings. I don't know if these. And I'll open the backpack and pull out the earrings and hand them over.
All right, I'll do it to the earrings too.
Wait, hang on.
Wait, I'm not though.
I never. Did you read the note aloud?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I push you as you reach into your bag.
What?
Don't touch them.
Pharrell!
Do not touch.
I already touched them.
Well, what happened?
Nothing. If I recall, Diantalis grabbed them, gave them to me. Nothing happened. But I appreciate your concern.
The note said do not touch them.
It said don't decorate them as something. Don't tamper with or adorn the jewelry.
Tampering. I would vow a vow of silence right now if I knew language was so useless.
Hope pulls the earrings out and gives them to Diantalis.
I would identify this as a tampering.
If you are going to struggle with the behavior of human beings, please do it elsewhere, Varel.
I wish it was only humans. Dian Elf Talus.
I am not an elf.
Then a humpable blob beast who inhabited my dear friend.
A humpable
I am
blob
not
beast.
the blob beast that you speak of either.
We wish nothing more than to strap you to a rocket and rid our friend of your presence. Is my current understanding of your lineage.
Well, maybe one day you will have the opportunity. For now, I will identify this item for you.
I would like to strap you to a rocket.
Alright, I'm
Beautiful.
identifying.
All right. Will Varel leave him with 10 minutes of peace is the question.
I wait, but I'm standing right there with my arms crossed, watching him.
All right. So, Diantalis, you examine the item, searching for its magical clues, and magic indeed you quickly discover it does have.
Ooh.
There's the item appears designed with ill intent, with a hatred sewn into the very fiber of its being.
Yes.
When the earrings are adorned, they will cause the wearer's ears to grow tenfold.
Whoa.
Embarrassing.
It's not a good look.
I believe this item was intended for Nash Magog, and he should equip him immediately.
No. I don't want this.
You don't know that? Your character doesn't know that?
He's
told
making
that to Diantalis.
he's making fun. He thinks I don't have big ears.
You don't know that.
You don't know anything about the ears. I haven't told you what it
Oh.
does yet.
What are you looking at? Is what I say instead.
Hope whoever equips these, if they wear them, it's going to make their ears grow.
Oh. Well, thank you.
So, not only is your humanoid language perverse, you use it for these opportunities. An entire civilization, Hope. Your proud ancestors. Taking time and their delicate powers to make laughable ear jokes.
For at least my people make things.
We make things. I made a javelin
What
just
if
earlier.
what has survived? What has survived?
I have. Barely.
And then when you're dead, you could have died today.
That is true. I do not like to think on it. And I hope you would have used my entire body, all of you.
Yes, we would have used all of it.
Good.
Most
If
of
someone
it.
makes sense.
We'd use most of it. There's a couple of parts that Nash I don't care to use.
That is fine.
Yeah. But most of it.
Or shall we head back?
I say we explode through the rocks and tell the king what for. He said he set up rocks behind him somewhere, and we know the water went by him. There is some sort of shortcut we can access.
Sure. So who would like to take the lead?
Well, I am not dead yet. And I'll start leading us out of this little crevice we're in.
Varel
looking at
begins stomping through the river.
Yeah.
In the other direction.
like a kid through a wave pool.
These guys are all dead, thank goodness. Okay. You never put a death thing above that guy. It's okay, though. We know he's dead.
Sorry, if that helps, I'll put a death thing.
No, you're good. Whoops. I don't want
Oh,
Party proceeds along the river.
I require my items. All right, I have my sword, and this is what I'm doing over it as well. Okay. So javelin goes in the armpit, sword in the hand, tiefling skull in the other armpit, and then the body I'll grab to the torso and head.
Gotcha.
I'll drag in the other hand.
Okay. You
And
see Varel
you
with many items in his
Still have
armpits.
found no use for clothing or methods to carry items of any sort.
I do believe a sack would be in order.
I think we saw one of those just a moment ago. I look at Nash.
Well, we're going to use one of these patches already?
I am fearful of such magical pouches. I would prefer something made to my contours that will not swing about as I battle, and that I have yet to find.
I mean, we don't even know. Looking at this cloak, I don't know how big the horse is. Could be one of those little dumb mini horses that no one likes.
After the latter incident, I think I would prefer just a place to store my sword, to have my hands free. Perhaps some sort of chest harness.
I have rope. I have a patch for rope.
I have no sheath for my sword.
I have. Hold on. I have a 10-foot pole we could ram up Diantalis' ass. Let's see.
I believe the joke is that there is no more room, for he is full of shit.
Oh!
That's really good. I mean, the only thing I've got here close to what you're asking for is the horse with the saddlebags, but I can't speak for their quality or how they'll work, or how big they would be, or if they swung about you, or any of that.
Ideally, as we walk, we will meet a specter who touched me, and I will threaten it with its own skull and commit it to death and peace, and it will return my strength to me. And then we will drop off the torso here with the king, and I will have my two hands back.
Oh, that's a good question. Did the short rest do anything for the sapped strength?
Let me get back to you.
Okay.
Hold on. I just checked the chat room to see how everybody's doing, and somebody says their wife walked in and says I look like John Goodman. I do not look like John Goodman. Anyway, sorry. I'm not trying to break character
Yes,
here, but
your strength returns to you actually on a short rest. Sorry, I thought it was
Oh.
a long rest. Your strength has returned.
And then I will clumsily drop the other items so that I can take out the skull, and I'll walk it over to one of these islands nearby and place it on and say, rest now, spirit. Put down the tiefling skull.
Okay, you do that.
Perhaps it was mad because its ears were large.
wouldn't you be?
That seems as reasonable a belief as anything else I've heard today. Can we proceed?
All right, and I pick back up the javelin in the armpit, sword on the shoulder, dragging the torso.
Very good.
Proceeding.
You make your way across the river. You notice that in this room, apart from the exit or the entrance to the room that you used, there's a passageway across the river that leads into darkness. You notice that the stream as well appears to run from an entrance that's navigable in the south easternly side of the room.
I'm afraid I can't see in the dark. I will need to go pick up my rock first.
Now, where is your rock?
It's up here.
Oh, you see it,
where I threw it.
shining. Yeah. Okay. Pick up your rock and let me bless you with light. Oh, you have it. You already have the light on, actually.
Well, now it's canonical light. We proceed. I believe this to be the way, but we should inspect the full surroundings here. And I'll head south to see.
You move
This
south
river ends.
into the river, and it starts to come up to your thigh a bit deeper. You notice that the water runs in from a narrow passage.
Very good. What about back this way? Nope. Oh,
It's the way that you came.
Nash has to pee. Give me a second. I go up inside of here. And I just let my big, flappy, weird, freaking Cthulhu crotch just flap with pee right here in the corner.
Perfect.
And then I come back out. I'm good now.
speedy. Very well, we advance.
All right, Varel makes his way down the passage. And you come up short as you round the corner and see a large boulder fitted into the narrow passageway ahead of you.
As expected. Nash would be so kind.
Oh. Sure.
Now, can you move boulders?
I can move the oh boy, hold on. Let's read up.
Dirt or stone? Okay, it is stone as well.
Dirt or stone?
It
Yeah.
has to fit within a 5-foot cube.
Right. So,
The largest rock there would actually fit within a 5-foot cube.
okay.
So you do feel as though you're able to utilize your powers here.
All right. I yell, Swift of mind. Wearing a new frock. I command the spirits to move this rock. And I move it.
All right, you move the rock from out of your way. Now, just a second here. Go. Oops, it won't move.
Oh.
You redouble your efforts, and then boom, it does move.
Okay. Oh, there it goes. All right.
There you go. So you use your magic to move the rock out of the melting it into the walls to the side, narrowing the passage somewhat, but allowing you access to move forward.
Okay.
Well done, Nash.
Thank you.
And I lead us into the tunnel.
All right. Move as you will.
And I'll take a break
Passageway.
at each little bend.
The passageway winds, becomes very narrow. The ceiling is only 6 feet, and you can feel your head scrape along the top as this passage becomes very small. Path turns around the corner, and you move around it, hearing nothing except in the background the rush of water. All right, you move farther down the passageway and come to a junction, one with a passage that turns to your left and a passage that continues straight down into darkness that you can't see.
Just given an eyeball, could the king even fit in here?
Could the king fit in here? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Well, I'll turn back to the party. There's a junction, and this doesn't seem to be the same rock that the king placed, as he could not place it.
Oh.
True. Does no harm in exploring, though, while we're here.
Well, as long as we're in agreement. Which way? East or south?
What does your gut tell you?
My gut tells me that we return to the king south and explore further east.
Then explore it is.
To exploration.
All right, you move to the east down the passageway, moving single file as the cave walls are pressed up near your shoulders, barely able to get through. As you move down this passageway, you hear the faint and familiar sound of,
I'm the king of the cave. I am the greatest. This is my river. This is my foot. I am the most benevolent. I'm the king. I'm the big king. Don't you cross the river.
and you begin to hear the sounds of singing, muffled as they are.
All right, well, advance us along.
All right. As you advance along, the passage turns to the southward direction, and you can hear water, and the singing grows louder.
Varel, I think this is the way to the king.
And as you turn the corner, you see a pile of boulders blocking the passage further.
No, the question would be, would he be too stupid to realize we came this way? And he'd be upset we moved his boulders?
Or did we cross the river without asking him, and now we're on the other side because we moved the rivers using this convenient passageway?
He's not a bright king.
No, he is not. And we do not have Diantalis today to be my major domo.
You do have Diantalis today.
Excuse me. My confusion. Stanley.
If I remember correctly, he wasn't particularly useful to you to begin with. Unsurprisingly.
Diantalis, and I turn myself around in the small area with my head sideways, looking past Nash and Hope to squeeze in a view of Diantalis in the back. You are the most confusing. You are more confusing than Nash. Hope is quite simple to figure out. But you make, sadly, the most amount of sense in the group, though you appear to be a bad person. I do not like that about you. I find it confusing.
Well, let me make it a little easier. We don't live in a good place. We don't live in a place where people are kind to one another. We don't live in a place where people do each other favors out of the goodness of their heart. We live in a place where people struggle to survive and fight and argue. Think about your own little histories. How many of you have known happiness, and for how long? This is the reality of the world. If I seem cruel and evil, it is because I reflect the world around me. Stanley, who you seem to enjoy the company of for some reason, is currently trying to argue that point. He's doing so laughably, making a fool of himself, playing doctor, trying to save worthless people who've tried to kill him not mere hours ago. It doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, he's talking to you now? He's saying words to you now?
No.
Oh.
I think he was saying what Stanley's trying to do.
I've
When he's
observed
around.
it.
Oh, when he's here. Okay.
I too thought, Nash, that maybe Stanley was screaming from inside.
Yeah.
Wishing.
Yeah. And I had questions about that, but I don't now.
Stanley occasionally screams, but there is little he can do at the moment.
I'm the king of the big king of the river.
Should we back up then and try south?
I mean, we can. Yes. And if we get close enough and realize that this was the better way, we can come back. There's no harm.
All right, we'll start going back the other way.
All right. Well, that's easy.
All right. Everyone makes their way back to the junction, preserving their file as they are able to reorganize in the T junction. And
All right.
Burrell makes his way south.
To the next
As-
junction.
Yep. As you make your way south, you notice that there's a green glow of light as you approach closer in this direction. As you peer down, you think you can see what is the end of the cave. And on the cave floor, towards where the wall meets, there's a small patch of dirt. But it appears to glow green.
Oh. More shrooms, Nash?
Maybe. I can't see from here. I still have one in my pocket.
I will walk until I see this edge. Yeah, so I guess here.
Okay. And as you get closer, you notice that there is a patch of dirt glowing green. And on the wall, you see that there is language scratched into the wall. It looks like this. I will put it in Slack. The party can see this. For our audio listeners, it says Takafe uzakavaso. Za ulv hafer si hoich zime kwachil. Kviz la zooms il yajomafk. Kiza ar orasel. Kuv zoom zi wich aft ar wike kilwe.
Does anyone understand it?
Hope recognizes it.
Yeah,
I'll step to the side and allow Hope to
I
squeeze by.
recognize it.
Gibberish! I yell.
Hope will just shove past Nash to get close enough to read it, but not touch the pile of dirt.
I've sent you a private message with the translation.
This one says, to go up is to go down. To find your way, seek the green, but not with an envious gaze or frown, but with a sack full of sparkly beans.
I was really hoping it said, put the mushroom on the dirt and watch what happens. Because I have a mushroom, and I thought maybe this was like one of those obvious things where a glowing mound of dirt, I have a glowing mushroom, I just put it on there, and then a door would open or something, but it sounds more complicated than that. And I slink into the back and look down to the ground.
Didn't we get the beans from the glowing pit in the first place?
Yes, Stanley acquired them.
So they're in your pants, though.
Yes, I understand how the body works, Nash. Thank you.
Hope will stand to the side to let Giantalis pass if he wants to plant the beans.
So the thought is we're going to plant one of the beans here, or all of them?
It says a sack full of sparkly beans, so I would assume all of them.
Read it again.
To go up is to go down.
Mm-hmm.
To find your way, seek the green, but not with an envious gaze or frown. So maybe we have to be smiling when
We have
we
to
do
smile
it,
at the beans.
but with a sack full of sparkly beans.
I also acquired the Wand of Frowns,
Oh, fascinating.
which can become a Wand of Smiles.
What's it on now?
Frowns.
Didn't you give that to Nash?
Big shocker.
Oh
No.
yeah, didn't I give that to you?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if No, I didn't give it to him because it was useless and I wouldn't trust him with it.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Okay.
I have a bunch of cool stuff, but that's not it. I still have six cups of bat poop.
Cool stuff.
And a
Well,
tiefling
if
tailbone.
we need this to be a wand of smiles, then it needs to be expelled.
How many?
It has 3 charges.
You also have to roll a 1 on a d20
Oh,
when it charges overnight. Just to be
It-
clear on the mechanics of it.
it would be hard to do.
So we can probably assume it's the wand doesn't really have a place in this.
I will begin folding back my lips into a goofy grin. Let's plant some beans.
All right, I will hand over the sack of beans. But as I do, whoever is going to be planting them, I will say, be very careful. If you drop these, they explode.
I guess I'm first, so I'll take them and I'll nod at Diantalis.
She's our explosives expert. That's a good idea.
Yes, that's worked out so well for her so far.
Hope will walk up to the dirt patch, and right in front of it, she'll squat down and she'll kind of set the bag of beans on the dirt. Does anything happen?
Nope, you set them on top of the dirt and they rest there without a vent.
Okay. So what she'll do is she'll slowly take the bag, 2 hands, one on the top, one on the bottom, shift it to its side, use her left hand to open up the bag, and then grab the bottom with her other hand and kind of jimmy
Okay.
the
so that they
beans
don't-
out.
Okay, you do so,
Nothing's
and
falling.
you do so, and the beans now rest on top of the dirt, including the metal key that's in the sack.
Oh, well, I'll grab the key and take that out of there, and then I'll put dirt on top of the beans.
Okay, you place dirt on top of the beans, and it's interesting because the dirt glows green. So as you put your hand on it, flex of it, cover your hand, and your hands begin to glow green.
Oh, jeez.
You cover them up.
And then I'll back away and hand the key back to Diantalis.
All right, pocket that. It's worth noting that if anything's gonna grow, I doubt it would be immediately, based on my understanding of how it works.
And as he says that, the ground begins to shake.
Unless, of course, the soil is magically enchanted.
And then the
I'll
dirt
go
begins,
back up.
the dirt begins to coalesce into a larger mound, and then a large, thick green vine shoots up from the earth and twists its way up. And as you look up, you notice that the ceiling is actually raised in, and it reaches up into darkness. And then it fills up the entire end of the room, and you see nothing but vine. Giant green leaves, the greenest plant you've ever seen.
It's a way out.
I've seen greener.
What? Who cares how green it is? It's a way
I'm
out,
just
you
saying for all
dumbass.
of you who are smiling and looking dumbfounded, I've seen greener. Well, that body isn't going to travel up a vine very well. Should we see the king, or do we proceed forward?
I don't see why, he says with his lips still curled back into a smile. We would need to see the king if we have already maintained the beans.
Let's go see the king. What if this leads up into the fortress and it deposits us surrounded by enemies?
Then we shall face them.
All right.
For we cannot rest. And it is still... What day is it?
You're not entirely certain.
We
Sometime,
have no idea.
maybe Wednesday. If your best estimate puts you at Wednesday, somewhere in the middle of the day.
We don't even know if it's day or night. We're all jacked up down here.
We have succeeded, but our allies who follow would have to deal with the king anyway, or he would not let them pass without taxes. So we should mark the way we came if we wish reinforcement, and then proceed up.
We also don't know that this is actually the correct way.
It's true. My memory serves that this was some sort of gallivanting princess road that rich people used to go see the sky. Oh, lo is me, rich tiefling, I must feast on young children. Let me exit the castle via
Tail is just gonna start
secret passageway
very
of
frustratedly.
convenience.
She's gonna start climbing the beanstalk. She's done listening.
Correct, Hope. That is the way that your people did this. That's the way I remember being told it.
All right. Hope you begin climbing infuriatingly up the vine, and then you, it's strange because the way this vine is designed, the roots of each of the leaves are very solid. And you're able to just lift your weight and step on it, and it doesn't bend and doesn't give way. Just like a ladder, you climb up easily. The ladder moves up about 60 feet. It's quite a long drop down as you make your way to the top, and you get to the top of a large column dug into the earth, and there you see a grate looking like a manhole cover. It's round. In the center is a keyhole.
Oh. If I look through the grate, what do I see?
It's not a gated grate. Sorry, it's like a manhole cover. It's
Totally.
it's solid
Okay,
metal,
yes,
and in
okay.
the center is a keyhole.
Okay, and then
There
if I press my ear to it, can I hear anything through there, like maybe movement or something?
You press your ear up against the metal, and you think you hear what sounds like air circulating. It's like a,
Okay.
but nothing else.
Okay, I'll climb back down.
All right, was Vorel still talking to you?
There's a cover up there, and it's got a keyhole in the middle of it.
I'll hand the key back over. It's worth a try, seeing as we found them together.
Okay, I'll take the key and I'll head back up.
All right, you make your way back up to the top.
And I'll try the key in the keyhole.
Put the key in the keyhole, and you hear a clink, 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 clink. And you feel that you push on it, tap on it very gently, and you can see that it's movable. Or wasn't before.
Okay, can I move it just enough to create like a little peephole to see if I can see anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have to lift it and then move it a tiny bit. So you do that. Lift it and peer out. And in the pitch blackness with your dark vision, you see a large brick room with a metal door, and you see lots of pieces of skeleton lying on the ground. You sort of peer up and look in, and a skull looks back at you. Its hollow eyes empty, just lies there still. It's a tiefling skull with sort of the makings of where the horn would once be.
I'll do a 360 around the room to see if there are any living creatures or anything. Ready to duck down just in case.
All right, perception roll, please.
It's gonna be a 14.
You see nothing but the bones of tieflings long past. It's a room. It's musty, with gray brick and the one steel door exit that you can see across the room.
Okay, I'll crawl back down and relay what I've seen to everybody. Bones. Tiefling bones. There's a door up there. But other than that, it could be a way in. And then we wouldn't have to deal with that king anymore.
Sounds like an entrance to the dungeons of the castle. The real question is, do we wish to leave any instructions for our vampiric companions?
We could do that.
We did tell them we were going to be ridding this place of obstacles, and we have not. So a guide on the safest way through would be best.
All right, then. Let's get to work. Do we have any ways to inform our passage, or shall we carve it in the walls?
We could carve it in Infernal.
I have a tiefling tailbone you can use. You can scratch it out on the wall with that or on the ground.
Hope we'll take out her knife.
Damn it. I'll just hold this then, shall I?
All right, I'm gonna go back to the fork just above us and lay down my torso with arm, and I'm gonna lay it across the passage, and then put its arm out and curve its little fingers, so that it's pointing down the way.
I see. Okay, you put the corpse down and have it, have its arm leaned up against the rock, so it points in the direction of the vine.
Correct. Sort of blocking that other passage.
On the wall in Infernal, Hope will write down, or straight ahead. She'll write straight
Okay.
in Infernal.
So is there any reason you're doing it in Infernal? Just because you know that
They can read it.
Monsoon will read it, but probably not the other Trashburg citizens.
Yeah.
Okay. You write down Infernal on the wall. Or, I mean, you write down what's straight on the wall. Okay, the company makes its way back down the passage it came. Back to the main room. All right,
At
so
some point, we should also make a decision as to if we're going to do anything about the eggs that Nash stumbled upon. If they are close to hatching, that could prove a nuisance for them trying to get in. They're already going to have to deal with the creature as is. Potentially its offspring.
He has a point. I'm loath to admit.
you hear that echo down the hallway.
Sorry.
Could we ban them?
Well, no, it's more that
Light
you
them on
hear
fire?
you hear from far away. Down the
Yeah.
hallway.
Oh, because I'm... Hey, guys, wait for me.
Hope will walk down midway between where the river's flowing south and then that pathway heads north and
Okay.
right up in Infernal.
All right.
Carve it in.
Perfect. You mark that into the land then. We put up. So let me write
Wait,
these things in
I
here.
got myself lost.
Nash is lost and not with you.
Wait, I thought we went east again. Oh, no. Scott, come on. Let's go.
He was never heard from again.
All right. Where'd everybody go?
Thankfully, his dying words were, "You were right, though I'm loath to admit it."
Wait, Bo, you see where I am? Oh, there you are. Okay. I got really turned around there.
Drunkenly, Nash comes running through.
Did you smoke that weed cigarette?
No.
There were two ways I could go. I got lost.
This is so me in real life, by the way. I would be lost every time we went in the Encounter Tunnel. I can't even drive it home at night. There used to be a gas station on this corner, I'd say, to my wife. Happens all the time. Anyway,
All right.
it's embarrassing.
Okay. Well, you guys can continue on with whatever you're doing.
Just go hang in the water there.
All right. So the party moves across the water. Where are you intending to go? You're just going to mark the trail the whole way back? Is that the deal? We don't have
At each
to.
junction
Yeah.
in Infernal, I'm going to write the direction to go.
Okay, so the whole process probably to move your way back take about an hour, all the way back to the entrance. Is that the intention here?
Yeah, that would bring us back to the pit where the eggs were. Or at
Yeah.
least that hallway.
Yeah, back to the main foyer where
So-
we rested.
I'm just going to turbo jump everyone there so I don't have to.
Yay!
Awesome.
Yay, turbo
Fast
jump.
travel, fast travel.
Whoa.
Okay, so you're now moved back to that main area. Back where Nash left the little hole, back where you guys camped, and the grave of George is.
All right, then we mark the wall. Oh, so assumed we marked the walls along the way.
Yeah, you've marked the passage along the way. Yeah.
Cool.
Now, are we going to deal with the eggs?
Diantalis, do you have your bonfire still, or is that Stanley's thing?
I can take care of it.
Shall we destroy the eggs then and piss off the mother? She'll have 2 days to calm down, is my understanding.
It might be worth taking a look and seeing if we can accomplish it.
Very well.
All
If
right,
you
so
think
you
it's
guys,
worthwhile, I will assist with this.
so you make your way back down to the entrance passage. You notice that there are handholds in the side of the wall that you're able to climb up.
Cool.
Do you
I
guys
will
just-
lead the way climbing up and get that grate moved up and out of the way so everyone following can exist in that little passage up there.
All right, so you move the grates to the side, and it's with some heavy lifting because it was sealed quite shut, so you have to force it open. I'd like you to make an athletics check, please.
Athletics is a 23.
All right, so you're able to push it open, push it to the side, and daylight hits your eyes, and it hurts. It hurts everyone as daylight shines down into your face.
I guess we have an idea what time of day it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those
All right,
eggs.
you should be able to see brightly.
They're gross.
Yeah.
And as you open up the as you open it up, daylight shines in. You see large cliff and then sky up above over the grated bars that cover the pit of despair. You also hear the sounds of talking of many voices as some sort of activity is coming from the top in Trashburg. However, it is 500 feet up, so it is distant but loud and celebratory, it seems.
I send Pod out for a little recon just to kind of check things out, be invisible, since it's lit and she can see.
You can.
Okay, Pod.
What do you want me to check?
I just go see, make sure everything's clear up there. If you see anything that looks unusual or threatening, come back and tell us.
And if I don't find anything threatening, do I still come back?
Yeah, come back. Oh yeah, come back either way.
All right. And then you feel the weight lift from your shoulder, and the wings flap. Goes distant.
Okay.
Now, as you peer out, you notice that a large green creature is the frog hemoth is walking across. Seems to be patrolling its nest.
I would like to note that we're hopefully being quiet and hidden in the crag.
Yeah.
So far as you can tell, she's not noticed you.
And we wait for Pod.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay.
Hear what Pod has to say.
While we are, I go, are you guys worried there's a Papa Frog Hemoth up there too? Or just the mom?
I'm not too
No
worried.
mash.
Since I don't think they could fit.
Maybe
I'm
she
not
here.
worried about that at all.
maybe she eats her partner. Like some spiders and stuff do.
Possibly.
So they get to their humping, and then when they're done, she turns around and goes, "Gah," and eats him.
Yeah, tieflings do that too.
Oh, well, I'll
They
stand
do?
back here then, not near you.
Hope will kind of chuckle to herself and let them wonder if she's telling the truth or not.
That explains the dead with the earrings.
You feel the weight return to your shoulder after some time.
Oh, she's back. Pod.
Nash.
Yeah.
They're having a celebration up there.
Really? But how do you know?
Well, there's like a festival going on, and there's a table of food, and there's people dancing in that blood ball field.
Oh, there's probably some blood bowl going on.
And on the stage, I think I saw there's like a man up there, and there's like a gray-skinned person seems to be hugging a lot. Looks like they're having a good time.
It's the wedding celebrations, yeah?
Oh yeah. It's the wedding.
I heard one of them say that they're celebrating because you guys were killed in the Froghemoth pit. They were like, you know that ugly one with the warts? The warts, he took it the worst. But it's not true. I wanted to correct them, but I just kept my mouth shut.
What did they say of me?
I didn't hear them say anything about you, Vorel.
Oh, I assume the warty one was him. Who are we talking about with the warts?
Well, I think you have a lot of owies on your body.
Maybe it's time to pull off the silver mirror patch, Nash.
No, it's fine. Sometimes I forget how hideous I am when we're down here.
I don't think we should touch these eggs anymore. If they think we're dead and we draw attention down here, we could ruin everything.
Yeah, but if we just... I mean, okay, what if I go up to this corner and with the
But they've
flick of
been
my...
alive for hundreds of years. We have to assume they have powers we've never even seen or could imagine.
But if I set those on fire with a flick of
Everyone
my wrist...
will know something's down here.
Yeah, but if we... Yeah. But maybe they'll just... shit, she has a point.
Just think that Froghemoth's eggs spontaneously burst into fire. I think Hope is right. We keep our advantage for now.
What if I threw acid on them? Then they'd just kind of melt away. There wouldn't be any fire.
Besides, even you were able to fell a baby Froghemoth, so the gang should be able to make it past.
I really want to get those eggs.
You have not proven responsible with the one egg you took. I don't trust you at all with many more.
But we can't just not do something. What are the alternatives?
We go back down there, we finish our task, and nobody knows that we were here.
Can we poison the eggs?
No.
Sorry, did you guys come up here to kill the eggs? Like Nash is the only one that's still trying to kill them now.
I want to kill the eggs.
We've rethought our position. We didn't know
you
that they...
introduced new information.
Yes.
I'm just asking. I just think it's just having that. Oh, okay.
I have a very singular mind on this. Those eggs need to go.
All right, what if... So, okay. Fire would be too obvious. I think we all agree on that. Poison might not be. What if there were a way to dry them out? Maybe the sun got too hot and the eggs couldn't stay wet.
Who can do that?
Do you think when the Froghemoth figures out its young are in danger and freaks out, they're going to simply say, oh, it's probably nothing, and not investigate?
Well, how's the Froghemoth going to convey this? He's not going to go, excuse me, sorry, I know you're having a wedding up there, but my eggs. They don't care. They don't
Go
care.
step out and make a ruckus, and you'll see exactly what the Froghemoth
That's why
will
I'm
do
saying.
to get
That's
attention.
why I'm saying no ruckus. You just poison them or lace
The
them.
one thing I will say to everyone's knowledge is that the people who fell down along with you.
Oh, Bo got crunchy. Oh, everyone got crunchy. Crap. Hold on, this call is jacked. Did I lose everybody? Hold on.
Okay.
That's obnoxious, isn't it?
I think it was
Okay.
Discord wide.
Discord wide, yeah. I think it's back though now.
The information was too important.
Yep. Couldn't deal with the information.
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
lot of
think my
information.
webcam is working though.
New information has come to light, man.
Oh yeah, Bo's camera's just spinning.
Yeah, it's still spinning.
Weird. That was weird. You might be able to reset it in your thing.
Probably got to do a thing. I'll be right.
Okay, no worries.
I gotta unplug it and plug it back in.
We'll never know the new information.
Oh, damn it.
We'll get there. That was really weird. Everybody went real red real quick.
Yeah. I've been running into this
There we
with
go.
Discord, actually, past
Oh, you're back.
week or two.
It's only happened to me a couple times, but yeah, this happened once on TMS. All right, I'm
Sorry,
continuing. Okay.
I was just in the process of reminding everyone that the teat guard that fell down with you during your flight into the pit of despair, maybe a night ago, were every bit as scared as you are of the frog hemoth. You know, it's a sarlacc pit. There's a crazy creature down here. They're not likely to come down and tend to it. They just keep it locked in here to do its own thing.
Mm.
Okay. Just a little acid
By
splash.
no means a docile creature.
Just a little acid splash. Just when he's not looking, when he's patrolling the other direction, just a little, and then they'll all just sit there and crinkle away, and they won't have any of the wiser. Then we can go back, and I can even put a little dirt and block our little entrance here for now. I have no idea we even did it.
As you say these things, you hear. As you see its thick green skin body turn around as it gets closer and closer, and you can see its shadow enter into the crevasse that you're hiding in, and then it turns around and squats.
It's wearing a bone toupee at the moment.
Yeah, whoops. Sorry. I didn't get rid of that. It turns around and squats.
Okay.
Sits
now
down,
it's
and
near.
It sort of like takes its waddle position and it goes, and then sits into a hump just in front of the eggs with its back to you.
All right, I changed my mind. He's too close to the eggs. Let's go.
I think it's making more eggs.
Oh,
We could
really?
watch and find out.
Yeah, this could be fascinating.
Well, just to know if we should maybe with the eggs or not, right? Because if it's just going to keep laying eggs.
Are you watching it? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's watch
All
it
right.
give birth to
You
eggs.
observe it quietly, and you see from behind, looks like one of its eyes sort of move down and low as it sort of pulls out a bit. And then its tongue comes out and it begins cleaning. You see it sort of flap in between where its butt is as it squats down. It appears to be cleaning itself.
Yeah. And he's watching himself do it with one eye.
Well, he has 3 eyes, but one of his eyes is looking down and examining closely the aim, from what you can tell.
It's worse than my dogs. All right.
It appears to be cleaning its crotch.
All right, so it's not giving birth. Varel, she's just cleaning herself. You can hear it.
And one of the tentacles rises up, and you can see the tentacle lift one of its eyelids and clean all around its eye with its tentacle piece. And then this little brown pile of pudding ends up on its tentacle, and then it flicks the
Ew.
brown flicks the brown pudding away.
Ugh.
Then it goes back to cleaning its eye. It makes another pile of brown pudding. It flicks it away. It's just cleaning its crotch and cleaning its eye at the same time.
And these aren't actual puddings. He isn't making those pudding creatures.
It's eye smegma.
Okay. That's so gross. I think we've seen enough.
As you focus on the creature, you turn your attention to the eggs, and the eggs glow a little green, and you see a whole pile of them. They sort of seem to be shaking a little bit. You notice the brown pits inside seem to be spinning around, and in their gelatinous balls. Okay.
Well, what's the verdict? What are we doing?
Well, I don't know what we can do. We can't. She's sitting right there. So we have to go. We can't walk in there, and I can't burn the eggs like I want to. Or we could try to sneak around her. But where are we going?
I'm gonna go back to the beanstalk.
Back down.
Yeah.
All right. You guys quietly make your way back down into the caverns below, deciding not to blow up the eggs like you thought you were going to do. You move back down to the cave below, closing the passage hatch behind you, and you're back into the blackness of the cave, with the exception of the light rocks that Nash is maintaining for both Pharrell and himself.
All right. I say back to the stock.
Back to the beanstalk.
To the beanstalk.
Sorry.
Oh.
Back the way you came. You go in. So we're not going to visit Hungui again.
No, we've marked the way.
All right. So you marked your way. You make your way back to the cave. I can just fast travel everyone there. Whoops. I can't actually. It's too zoomed out. All right.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hope goes zipping by.
Yeah, that was
Woo!
weird. Like speed. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. All right, you're back in the passageway. You make your way back through the cave network, walking all the way back to the beanstalk, past where you slew the headache men. And you're back there faced with the beanstalk in the passage above.
All right, Varel, would you like to lead?
Very well. And I will, I guess, put down put my javelin in against the wall here, and just leave it and carry up with my sword in my pit.
All right, you climb up the vine with your sword and make your way up 60 feet till you get to a manhole cover. It appears loosened from it being unlocked.
Cool. I will push it and place it to the side.
You push it and place it to the side, and with your light stone, you can see inside that it is a brick room of a humanoid dwelling in their style, the way they use bricks to make rooms. The floor is covered in what appears to be tiefling skeleton, pieces of femur, rib cages, heads, one in particular next to the hole looking back at you, and a large steel door is the only exit from this room.
Cool. I will squat and have my hands ready to be pulling up my companions as they get to the top.
All right, everyone climbs up and makes their way into this room.
As I climb, I'm going to have Mage Hand grab Varel's javelin and bring it up alongside me.
Oh, very good. The javelin also appears behind Diantalis. It just floats up with the ghastly hand and offers itself to you, Varel.
Thank you, Diantalis.
You would likely need it.
Ominous.
All right, you're in a brick room. You're in a brick room full of tiefling skeleton parts with one steel door as its exit. The steel door has a small window in it with bars.
This doesn't look like the princess quarters.
Why would it be the princess quarters?
Because the princess wanted to see the sky, which is why she took the secret exit out into the pit at night in order to go feed on children.
Hope will just shake her head. She still has no idea what Varel is talking about.
Are these
And
stories
she'll
you were
mutter to
told as
herself.
a child, Varel? Or how do you know these?
No, this is what Monsoon Cabbage told me, or at least I have deduced from his story, that this passage exists because the rich of the Teat wish to leave at times in secret. But so far, we have found a door locked from the other side. Somehow, they used this door. We used a magic stock to get in here. Somehow, they used this stock. And somehow, basilisks and a whole economy of bugs existed below them. And those creatures, too.
The headache men.
The headache men, yes.
Yes.
All right. Hope will go up to the door and look out the hole. You said there's a hole.
Yeah, there's a small window at the top of the door. You can peer out of, perhaps.
Cool.
You
she'll
take a look out,
the-
and you see a hallway, all brick. The passage moves both left and right, but you can't see much from the angle. It's a small window. You don't see anything of interest outside, except that it's a brick, gray stone hallway.
Okay, I'll listen to see if I hear any movement. That could be people.
Okay, perception roll, please.
Seven.
You hear nothing. It's deathly quiet.
Oh, it seems like the coast is clear. If we want to try to get out.
Is it open? Is it unlocked?
Varel, did you want to try?
Sure.
Because if not, I have a ram patch.
All right. I will set down my sword and javelin and wide-handed, expecting some sort of trap, but brave all the same. Go to open the door.
And there's no door handle per se on it, but it does look like you could push it open. And you give it a gentle push, and the door goes as it floats open.
So why are there dead bodies?
I don't know.
The door opens by a push.
I haven't been here before. I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope
Tieflings don't share memories.
your people love
I
to
do.
put bodies in unlocked rooms.
Well, you
Apparently, we also eat
a
children.
quick glance at the door, looking at the door, Hope, just to try and help answer Varel's question. You see that likely the mechanism has rusted and broke away from time.
Oh,
Everything about this room is screaming hundreds of years old.
Hope won't even mention that. She'll just.
They might not have been
Keep it to
traversed for
yourself.
400 or 500 years.
I think she's gonna start enjoying this myth that Varel is building up about her people.
Okay.
It's
Varel, you
magic,
were-
Varel. That's where we get our magic from. We
The
kill our own.
Oh. Do you wish to feed?
Oh no, I'm young, but the older you get as a tiefling, the more you need to draw from. The young offer the most power, so
So we should protect you in there. Make sure you're not eaten in this castle.
maybe. I might be too old at the moment.
Like Dian Talus.
Yeah, he'd be too old.
Hunger.
Oh, yes.
Ravenous hunger.
Insatiable.
Oh. Very good. I can understand this. Shall we proceed?
Yes, let's, before the hunger gets to me.
Right.
All right. You make your way out into the hallway, and you notice that the passage moves both left and right. You see similar doors adorning either side of the hallway on both directions. It appears that to the right, the corridor comes to a halt from what you can see, and to the left, there is a door at the exit of the corridor. If you had to imagine such a human dwelling, it might be that these are rooms in which to contain prisoners.
Well, shall we start at the end, check each room, and move to the left?
That would be best.
Okay. You do a quick survey and notice that there's a total of 12 doors on either side of the hallway, 6 on each side. You've exited from one in the middle. You want to go through each door?
Well, let's. They all got windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's spread out. Check for prisoners. We may have our companions here.
You peer through the doors and you notice that time has ravaged this place somewhat. Most of the doors appear to open quite easily and nothing is locked. Most of them contain either skeletons of tieflings or skeletons of tieflings attached to, like, their skeleton bodies are shackled to beds, whose intent appears to be to stretch them out. Torture devices of some kind. One room in particular has a tiefling corpse hanging from a large wooden plank, and there are several metal spikes sort of stuck into the plank. You find nothing alive as you search through the rooms, and no items of interest.
Are any of these skeletals vampiric?
They all appear to be tiefling to your best guess, or possibly humanoid. But they all appear, when you find a skull, you find it in the shape of a tiefling skull, which is usually denoted by the fact that it'll have the area where the horns are sort of meant to attach to the skeletal structure. And tailbones, abnormally long tailbones.
Skeletal.
Skeletal structure.
It's one of my favorite things.
It's a long-standing bow meme.
Your people are weird, Hope.
Tieflings are very hard to understand to the outsider. It's a tough world we live in.
I'll say.
I mean, we're half demon. Did you expect anything less?
Well, I mean, ask me next time I have to sleep next to you in some cave. You're not going to kill us in our sleep, are you?
I
There
can't
is-
promise anything.
Nothing I see here, Nash, that isn't also something your people would do to one another.
Not in this ritualistic way. Maybe some have lost.
You don't understand your own history, then.
Well, maybe. Look, I spent years in captivity. I know what men can do to each other. I've seen the worst. I just need to know that this team isn't going to turn on each other because of our cultural weirdness that we may have in our baggage. I've always found Hope to be a huge help for our group. Somebody always willing to sacrifice herself for the good of the team. And, you know, the idea that she could be capable of what we see here, it's a little disconcerting.
I believe my point was more along the lines that any one of us could be capable of such things. But if you need to rest easy, Nash, imagine this. As was stated earlier, I do have a bit of an insatiable hunger. And walking next to you is like walking next to a banquet. And you've made it out okay.
All right, fine. It's very, very disconcerting in here.
Pharrell, your attention turns to the unopened door at the end of the hallway. This one does not have a window and has unanswered questions behind it.
Well, there's one more door.
Listen, can you hear anything through it?
I'll listen, try to listen under the door or through it.
Okay, this is a metal door yet again. There's a small clearance beneath that you could listen in.
I'll crouch on down. Do a perception check for listen. 12.
Okay. You hear nothing except for air circulating. Just like a... You feel a cool breeze of air through the door beneath.
Cooler than the room we're in?
Yes, it's cooler.
Well, it goes on.
Let's go.
I'll open the door quietly and slowly.
You go to open the door and it won't budge.
seems we have found our reason for silence in this part of the castle.
Does anyone need a ram?
Perhaps a quieter alternative.
Oh. All right. Whoops, whoops,
Wow.
whoops. Sorry.
Trip on your Cassia? What the hell?
No. I have it key bound and I hit the key by accident. Sorry, it's off now.
That's like the third time I've heard that. Do you use that for anything?
Yeah, back when we were doing like road rage stuff or road warrior stuff, I would have it because some big truck would come and honk.
Oh.
So we had a lot more engines like this thing.
I got you. Okay.
We had all that going on.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I was angry.
yeah. It's an angry car. It's the Fury. Or the Fate 4. The Fast and the Furious.
Is there a keyhole? We could try the key again.
Oh, that's true.
Keyhole?
There's a keyhole in the door.
All right, I'll try the key.
All right, you try the key and it enters in comfortably, and you turn it. And you hear gluk, 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 gluk. The mechanism releases the tension on the door.
Cool. I'll back up and let Merle take the lead again.
What's beyond?
You open up the door and you see a hallway leading to another door. But before you see the other door, there's a set of 6 steps. And at the top of the 6 steps, you see rusted brown suits of armor, each carrying in it a staff, 2 on either side. Are there spots on my face, or is that just me?
No, I see.
Yeah, what is that?
It looks like you're dehydrated or sunburnt and you were pressing your face with fingers for
Yeah.
a
What a
time.
weird thing.
Are you tanning?
weird. Did you have
I
your
don't know.
leaning on your
I'm-
hand for a long time?
Did you
Maybe.
stand out in the sun in perpetual Macaulay Culkin shock for a while?
This seems to be going away. I don't know what it is.
What's
It's
the
weird.
other? Show me the other side. See the other cheek. Yeah, you don't have them there.
No.
Weird.
These weird. They're gone though. I guess it was
Yeah, it's blood.
something. I don't know what it was. Anyways, there are 2 sets of armor on either side, in like an armor stand, like stood up, rusted brown, old, carrying staves, halberds, if you will.
What would be a deduced trap roll?
Sorry, you want to check for traps?
Yeah.
Like one might be to just look around using perception to see if you can't see anything that would be intended to be missed by the naked eye. You can, of course, investigate, which might involve carefully feeling around the ground for pressure plates and things of that nature. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay, let's do a perception to see if anything seems out of place. 22.
Nothing seems out of place. It's 2 sets of armor. You don't see any fishing wire or anything meant to deceive the eye.
It looks clean.
You said they're on armor stands, like kind of the stick cross?
Yeah,
Or-
so there's like there's a base and a metal pipe, not pipe, but a piece of, L bar welded to the bottom of it, standing it up, and it appears to be latched onto these things in order to be made to stand.
Okay.
And behind it,
Are there horn holes in the helmets?
horn holes. There are. The helmets do look ancient. They do have holes on either side where the visor comes down. There's a empty spot where the visor is. There are holes on either side for horns to protrude through.
Horn holes.
Says Dash. Niagara.
Just quietly to himself. Horn hole.
Horn holes. It's so fun to say. I like saying horn holes. Says John Goodman.
Anything magical? Nash? Diantalis?
I can check. Arcana check, please. Can I?
Well, what exactly are you doing?
I don't know.
I will do what I think Scott wants to do, but it takes 10 minutes, and I will cast Detect Magic.
Oh yeah, do that instead. That's actually more effective because mine's just going to be
Okay.
something's funky here, and that's it.
This is a first casting of Detect Magic.
Yeah, as a ritual.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to read it so they know what it is?
Yeah, you can go ahead and read it for audience. Yeah.
For the duration, which is 10 minutes, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You sense magic in this way. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. You can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
All right. So the party waits by the doorway as Diantalis casts Detect Magic as a ritual upon himself, allowing him to detect magic for the next 10 minutes.
I will question Hope about her people for 10 minutes.
Okay, so that happens as well. You cast Detect Magic, and now you're able to feel with great sensitivity sources of magic. Certainly, Nash radiates out to you, Hope radiates out to you, and to yourself. All your items have strong signals. You cast your attention down the hallway towards the suits of armor, and you feel an aura of magic surrounding the suits of armor.
Both of them?
All 4 of them.
All 4 of them? I thought there were only 2. Oh, it's around both.
2 on either side of the hallway.
What school of magic are they? If you need the school, because I have a character in another campaign that annoyingly does this. That's
There isn't there isn't a school of magic.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's not a spell that you detect. Just an aura of magic around the armor.
You're a wizard, Harry. Yeah.
I do sense magic from all 4 of the suits of armor.
Maybe we should throw a bone in the hallway, see what happens.
Sure.
Alright, Hope will go grab a sturdy leg bone, sizable one, and then she'll chuck it into the hallway.
Like a femur?
Okay.
Like a great big
Yeah.
femur? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I like it.
Are you trying to hit anything in particular?
No, just down the hallway to see if anything happens.
Clink, clink, clink.
All right. You throw it down and nothing happens.
So maybe nothing unless we touch the armor?
Or the door on the far side.
Alright, we'll be ready to pull me back, and I'll slowly step into the hallway,
Okay. You step into the hallway.
ready to jump back.
There's a set of stairs, 5 of them, and the armor is on the higher end of the stairs. 2 suits on either side.
Okay.
Make your way into the hallway, and the stairs are before you.
Perhaps I should hope. Last time, the puddings.
Someone's got to do it.
You question my bravery?
No, I'm just saying. So if you want, you're welcome to.
Do you require a demonstration?
Nope, and I'll back away and let Varel take to the stairs.
Yes. Good. All right. I will advance with my javelin in one hand, my sword in the other.
Okay. You make your way to the stairs, or are you going to climb up them?
I'll head to the base of the stairs.
You head to the base of the stairs. You are now there.
All right.
The
Stairs
room
go
does
up, you
nothing
said
in
5
response.
steps?
5 steps.
And then there's a door or a passage?
So there's 2 sets of armor on either side, and then the doors.
Gentlemen, I say, I am Vorel Rasvim Kurik. I wish passage.
The armors do nothing in response.
I'm going to ascend these steps now. Please be ready in the back to aid me if the armors are virile.
Virile.
Hope will hold up her mechanical arm and it'll transform into the gun.
And I will put, with 1 foot still on the ground, but I will put weight on a foot onto the step.
Okay.
Okay, you step on the first step and nothing happens.
An invitation for passage, gentlemen. Such a... And I'll put full weight on it and move up a step. A fine dungeon you have. Another step up.
Okay.
Wish you well.
You step on the third step.
Third step.
Nothing happens.
It's gonna be so great if it's just armor.
And may you... Fourth step. Keep your visage for all time. 5 step.
Okay. You step on the 5th step, and nothing happens.
You are most kind.
Be careful. It might be the door.
I will now use the door. Does this offend thee?
Do you hear nothing?
Alright, I put down the javelin, sword in the other hand, and reach for the... Is there a knob?
There's a door handle on the right side. Appears to be hinges on this side. You would pull the door open.
Okay, I put my hand on the door, but do not pull down or anything. I look both ways.
Okay, as you put your door on the door handle, you think you hear a little squeak of metal behind you.
Oh, gentlemen.
And you look back, and perception roll, please.
20, not natural.
Okay, so you look back quick enough, and you see the armor's head, one of the suits of armor, its head has moved to look as though in your direction. And then as you look back, it looks back in the direction that it was.
I'll take my hand off the door. Sir, I mean no offense. I require instruction on how to pass.
You get nothing back in response.
I'll call back down the hall, everybody. They are upset at my passage. I believe they wish me harm.
Here, let me go up and touch the door. Maybe they want a tiefling.
All right, you make your way up the stairs and walk up to Varel determinedly, as Varel has anxiety all over his face about you just so brazenly approaching. You put your hand on the door.
My real hand.
You put your real hand on the door and you hear nothing.
And I'm looking at the statues.
I'll
Marmors.
go to
Statues
turn
don't
it
react.
and open.
You open the door and this sort of moat of dust and smoke fills the air and it stinks. As you open the doorway up, damp, smelly air comes from the room behind. The suits of armor are still there.
All right, let's go through. And I'll keep my hand on the door as I nod for everyone else to go
Now,
through.
Diantalis, your detect magic is still on, and you, with the door opened, sense a strong but ambiguous feeling of magic coming from the doorway.
All right, I tell them that in exactly those terms. As I approach, I'm gonna walk closer as well.
Okay, you make your way up the stairs as well. Looking at the suits of armor, they do not move. They appear motionless.
Such a gracious host, my tiefling friend. Thank you for inviting me in.
It's only because you're strong, Varel.
Thank you.
Strength is delicious. And as the last one walks through, I'll lock through the door and shut it behind me.
Okay, so everyone's moving into the room? And
Yeah,
you
I'm
shut the door
following
behind
him. Yeah.
you? Okay, everyone makes their way into the room, and you shut the door behind them. Now, this room as well is pitch black, but you have your light stones. It's a large circular brick room. There's brick floor, not brick, but just gray stone floors and the gray stone walls. It's damp. The walls are covered in cobwebs and oily-looking substance. There's a large circle in the middle of the room, and you can see permanently etched into it is a pentagram cut into the ground by some sort of means of machinery. It's not chalk. It's cut in, sort of looking permanent, with some sort of stone cutting tool. Across on the other side of the pentagram is a stage. It's about 20 feet wide and about 5 feet up, like a riser. And atop that is a podium with a closed book atop it.
What do you make of it, Hope?
Looks like a place for magic rituals.
Diantalis, your detect magic is detecting magic from the book on the podium.
The book up there seems to be a source of magic we may want to investigate.
All right, Hope will slowly start going that way, hoping the rest of the group is with her.
I'll
Okay.
join. The magic book is curious to me.
All right. So both Diantalis and Hope make their way to the stage, carefully getting on top of it. You see, it's a closed book. It has a leather covering and what looks like some sort of brass spine. And the book covers are held together by these steel hinges, little bolts in the book. There's several gems on the book. They look laden into the parts where they're brass. And unfamiliar markings to both of you. Not infernal. Some sort of magical symbolism adorns the cover, the leather cover. It appears clean, unlike everything else in this room.
I don't think we should touch this.
It is very curious.
Are there any doors? Oh, sorry.
You look up from your attention for the book, and you see that there is another exit opposite the room that you entered into.
Okay.
Can I do a survival to see if there's any footprints in the dust that may have used the book?
Sure.
Natty 20.
All right. You examine the ground, and you see that there is a thick, damp, mucus and dust-filled layer on top of the floor that has not been unsettled for hundreds and hundreds of years. This room has not seen life in a very long time. It smells that way to you. It smells of decay and mold. But you're the first living creatures to be in this place in a very long time. In your mind, it's an unholy place.
Yeah, when you say mucus, do you mean like
I mean, like
charred remain fat?
damp, moldy dirt.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Just gross, damp, moldy dirt, and lots of it.
I mean, is there a layer of fat or anything else upon the pentagram that would suggest?
No, there's no living tissue or anything suggesting the remnants or product made of living tissue, given the age of the place. It's not been used recently at all.
Diantalis, you saying something?
If we have the time, I would like to identify the book, see what I can learn from it, and perhaps take it with me.
Seems like we do.
Right.
We move slow.
It will cause detect magic to drop, just as an FYI, because it's concentration. But I will do identify as a ritual on the book.
Okay. You go to cast Identify, and as you place your hands upon it, you can feel it immediately. It can feel you trying to unravel its mystery, and it fights back against you. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
$21.
Okay. It's fighting back against you, and even though you're not taking any particular damage, it's breaking your concentration as it fights back against your magic and to identify it.
Whatever this is, it is very powerful. I would definitely like to take it with us.
Do you have anything we can wrap it in?
A sack.
Hey! Hey! I have a sack.
Nash?
I have a sack patch. Hold on a second.
Behold, Nash's sack.
I have. Behold my sack. I have a sack.
After years under the bed.
Yeah.
I have a patch. 2 patches with the patch symbol. Perhaps these will work for you, diarrhea. You want to try one?
I will only need one, and yes, thank
All right.
you, Nash.
I'm gonna go. And I toss it,
All right.
right, Bo?
Yeah, you can toss the patch in the air. Or you don't have to toss it. You can just will it into existence, too. It's up to you.
All right.
But as you rip it off, it begins transforming.
Okay.
Do you throw it? Do you leave it in your hand? What do you do?
I say, to commemorate the retirement of Orrin Hatch, I make a bag and sack from this patch. And
All
it
right,
goes,
you rip it off in one fell motion and throw it at Diantalis, and it turns into a giant bag and lands in your hands, Diantalis.
All right, I am going to scooch the book into the bag.
I'm going to give Nash inspiration for all the rhyming and magical words
Sweet.
Nice.
of late. I noticed the effort in every time you cast a spell to do something like that, so go ahead and inspire yourself.
all right. I've added it. Although it's being weird, but yeah, I think it works.
So Diantalis, you go to move it into the bag, is that it?
Yep, I'm gonna put it in the bag.
All right, you go to pick up the book, and it's as if it weighs 5,000 pounds. Does not lift. You have not the strength to lift it.
5,000 pounds.
Can I open the book?
You can try to. Would you like to
Alright,
open the book?
I would like to try to open the book.
Yeah, and how exactly? Just the cover, somewhere in the middle? What's the motion to open the book?
Yeah, just the cover to start.
All right. You open up the cover. The book flips open. You see a blank papyrus page. Nothing
Alright.
written on this first page.
Turn the page.
You turn the page, and you see, covering either side of the two pages, an illustration, an old-style illustration of a field. There's a patch of trees in the background. There appears to be a campfire in the picture. It's a large illustration.
Okay. Turn the page.
Turn the page, and you see the same image. Looks somewhat different, but there's a field, there's a fireplace, fire's burning.
This is such a bad idea.
So cool, though. We gotta keep going, man.
Let's turn one more page so far.
You turn the page, and again, it's the same vista that's being painted. There's a small patch of trees. It's a field. There appears to be a fireplace. This time, you notice in the picture, there's maybe something hanging over the fire, like a pot. Have something warmed up in. And to one side of the panel, of the large 2-page panel, you see a tiefling head, sort of looking in the direction, you would say, of the fourth wall of this painting.
All right, turn the page again.
It's a picture of the same vista, and this time the tiefling appears to be running in the direction of the perspective of the painter.
Tell us, we need to shut this book.
What's the look on the tiefling's face?
There's a panicked look. Eyes are wide. It's running.
Turn the page.
You turn the page, and it's a large picture of a tiefling face. Both pages encompass the entirety of the panel. Hands up against what appears to be an invisible wall, and the face looking at you, eyes wide open, mouth aghast, as if crying out.
All right, I closed the cover of the book.
All right, now that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, kick.
Super
butt.
intriguing ending there.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
freaking
very
out.
creepy.
Oh,
That's exciting. All right, well
Very
done,
intriguing.
everybody, as always. If if you enjoyed that, just imagine what'll happen next week, dear watcher, listeners, and otherwise viewers. Come back and enjoy more of this, because that was really good.
Yeah, if you come back next week, Dash will rip off a podcast app patch off of his thing and throw it at you.
Yeah, I'll throw you a podcast patch.
That's how podcasts are born.
That's how they're made. Everybody wants me to do a show about how you make them. That's it. You have the cloak and you take the patch off and boom, show goes up. Can't explain that.
There's also underwear.
Yeah.
You can. There's the robe, but there's also underwear, and you can rip those off too.
That's true. Good stuff all around, everybody. Please join us next week for more There Will Be Dungeons. And as a reminder, if you go to therewillbedungeons.com, you will find all of our stuff related to the show, including archives of the show, the podcast links, the YouTube videos, and so on. If you want to join us live, it's every Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, unless otherwise stated. So follow us on Twitter for announcements. That's over at There Be Dungeons. It's going to do it for us, for me, for me, for Kristen, for Kyle, for Bo, and for John. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Well, it ended. That wasn't supposed to happen. All right, there. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. I got touchy keyboard syndrome.